Boxing isn't just about punches, it's about power. And power takes many forms. In the ring, Terence Crawford is flawless, undefeated. The first male fighter in a modern era to become undisputed in 3 weight divisions. A technician so sharp, he dismantles champions until nothing remains but silence. But outside the ring, that's where Canelo Álvarez reigns supreme. While Crawford builds quiet wealth in land and legacy, he turns victory into spectacle. A Bugatti Chiron purring through the streets, a Ferrari LaFerrari gleaming beside a Lamborghini Aventador, a yacht slicing through turquoise waters, and mansions of marble and glass rising like monuments to his dominance. Crawford might have walked away with the belts and a $10 million payday, but Canelo pocketed $150 million, proof that in boxing, glory doesn't always pay like greatness. So, before we step into the story of raw dominance and untouchable wealth, smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. Because this isn't just boxing, it's power versus fortune. Canelo's story begins in Guadalajara, Mexico, a boy with fiery hair selling popsicles on the street to help his family survive. Few could have imagined that same boy would one day command billion-dollar audiences, soaring across oceans in private jets, anchoring yachts on foreign shores, and building an empire that stretches far beyond the ropes. Today, his fortune is estimated around $300 million, with whispers closer to $400 million when you count real estate, businesses, and endorsements. In 2018, he signed an 11-fight, $365 million deal with DAZN, one of the richest contracts in sports history. And when Canelo fights, the numbers border on surreal. $30 to $40 million for each Gennady Golovkin bout, $40 million against Caleb Plant, and more than $50 million for Jermall Charlo. Add global sponsorships from Hennessy, Under Armour, and Tecate, plus ventures like his Canelo Energy gas station chain and expanding business portfolio, and he isn't just a fighter. He's the face of modern boxing, the sports billionaire in the making. Crawford's path couldn't look more different. From Omaha, Nebraska, a city with no boxing royalty, came a quiet, relentless boy with fists sharper than his words. He wasn't raised around wealth, and no one expected him to be global royalty. But inside him burned calculation, discipline, and a refusal to bend. He never chased the flash. He built instead land, houses, and most importantly, a reputation carved in pure, unshakable dominance. In 2023, he became the first male fighter ever to be undisputed in 3 divisions, sealing his place in history. On paper, his net worth is reported about $30 million. But those numbers don't capture the whole picture. His career-defining victory over Errol Spence Jr. in July 2023 earned him $21 to $25 million in one night, nearly doubling his career earnings instantly. Unlike Canelo, Crawford doesn't tie himself to long contracts. He negotiates fight by fight, working with Top Rank, PBC, and BLK Prime to keep a larger slice of the pie. He may not flaunt Bugattis or yachts, but his real estate portfolio proves he's building something designed to outlast the cameras. 2 men, 2 worlds, yet both sit atop the same throne. Canelo, the global brand, turning every fight into a spectacle. Crawford, the quiet architect, stacking millions with precision while remaining undefeated. So the question lingers, is greatness defined by fortune or by perfection? Because if Canelo Álvarez represents the business of boxing, Terence Crawford might just represent its soul. And as the numbers rise, the legends deepen, and the spotlight sharpens, one truth remains: this is more than a comparison. It's a clash of philosophies. When the question lingers, who truly stands taller? The answer doesn't just live in the ring. It lives in the lives they've built outside it. Because greatness doesn't end with the final bell. It echoes in the engines they rev, the keys they turn, the doors they unlock at night. And here, the contrast between Canelo and Crawford becomes a story of empires. One loud, one quiet. Picture this: Guadalajara, Mexico. A heavy gate swings open, sunlight glints off chrome, and inside stands not a garage, but a cathedral of horsepower. For Canelo, cars are more than transport. They're symbols of victory, trophies on wheels. Front and center sits his crown jewel, a Bugatti Chiron, nicknamed El Pitufo. Price tag? $2.5 million. 16 cylinders roaring like thunder, 4 turbochargers igniting a machine that rockets from 0 to 100 in less than 3 heartbeats. But Canelo's garage isn't just about speed, it's about identity. Each car tells a story. His Ferrari LaFerrari, one of only 499 ever made, is pure exclusivity, a reminder that he lives in circles few will ever enter. The Ferrari 488 Pista, precision and aggression wrapped in red steel, a racer's dream. Then comes the Puro-Sang SUV, family comfort fused with Ferrari DNA, because even kings need room for legacy. For raw flair, there's the McLaren P1, futuristic and unforgiving, sitting alongside the quiet luxury of a Rolls-Royce Ghost. Add the Lamborghini Aventador SVJ, a raging bull that mirrors Canelo's own explosiveness in the ring, and the Eleanor Mustang, a throwback to classic American muscle. Proof that beneath the global icon, there's still the fighter who loves the grind. Together, his collection is more than transportation. It's a rolling museum of victory, worth over $8 million. Each engine a soundtrack to chapters of his career. Now, shift the lens to Omaha, Nebraska. No marble-floored garage. No velvet ropes. Terence Crawford's cars sit on familiar pavement, built less for spectacle and more for purpose. At the center, a Mercedes MG 63, rugged, commanding, a machine that fits a fighter who values grit over glamour. Parked nearby, a Dodge Challenger Hellcat, unapologetically loud, American muscle at its rawest, and a GMC Sierra pickup, and the picture sharpens. Not excess, but utility. Together, his fleet is worth around $360,000, a fraction of Canelo's empire on wheels. But in that restraint lies the truth of Bud Crawford. Practical, focused, still rooted in the same Omaha streets that raised him. Cars, though, are just the first mirror of their split realities. Where Crawford drives in silence, Canelo lives in spectacle. The Mexican star sails oceans on a $5.9 million yacht, rumored to command a $35 million private jet when he takes to the skies. His wrists flash Richard Mille watches, his suits tailored sharp, his diamond chains glinting under spotlights. And in the closet, a sneaker collection whispered to top 600 pairs. For Canelo, luxury isn't hidden. It's displayed, staged, magnified. Crawford, by contrast, wears success differently. His jewelry collection, around $300,000, once made headlines only because it was stolen. His wardrobe, comfortable, functional, rarely designer loud. Instead of yachts or jets, he channels millions into land and property. Reports suggest he owns over 40 properties across Nebraska, Colorado, and Missouri. Investments that generate income and build legacy. For Crawford, wealth isn't for show, it's for staying power. And then, the houses. For Canelo, homes are palaces. His Guadalajara estate gleams with modern design. Marble floors, glass walls, indoor pools reflecting the Mexican sun. He once owned a $6 million mansion in Del Mar, California, perched above the Pacific Ocean. His empire extends across Mexico and the U.S., each property a marker of global presence. Crawford's world is different. His mansion in Omaha cost $1.2 million. Not small, but modest compared to Canelo's castles. Yet his real empire is quieter, hidden in property deeds that stretch across the Midwest. Not ocean views or champagne terraces, but land, tangible, lasting, unglamorous. One man builds castles that roar. The other builds foundations that last. Together, their lives pose a question as sharp as their records. Which is the greater crown? The one polished in gold and paraded before the world, or the one forged in silence, built to endure long after the cameras fade? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear which empire you believe stands taller. And this is where the story folds back to the ring. Because every car, every house, every chain or deed traces back to the squared circle. It is there, beneath the lights, that these fortunes were carved. Canelo, the warrior who fought giants, chased divisions, and learned resilience the hard way, even in defeat. Crawford, the technician who dismantled everyone before him, undefeated, untouchable, history's first three-division undisputed champion. Imagine a boy in Guadalajara, hair the color of fire, fists like answers. In another corner of the world, in Omaha, a boy walking streets where survival meant watching your back. Both should have been forgotten by poverty, yet both became kings. For Canelo, the ring was crucible and classroom. At 23, he faced Floyd Mayweather Jr., boxing's pound-for-pound genius. The loss could have broken him. Instead, it became blueprint. From that night, he rebuilt, sharpening his timing, hardening his chin, mastering patience. Rivalries became monuments. The Golovkin trilogy, wars with Miguel Cotto, Shane Mosley, Daniel Jacobs. A knockout of Sergey Kovalev for a light heavyweight crown. A ruthless dismantling of Caleb Plant to become undisputed at super middleweight. Canelo's empire was forged in battles with giants, his greatness measured in scale, in the audacity of chasing challenges across divisions. Crawford's reign? Defined not by quantity, but inevitability. He doesn't simply win, he erases the idea that his opponent ever had a chance. Southpaw, orthodox, mid-range, inside, Bud shift styles like water through stone. Take 2017, Julius Indongo, unbeaten, brimming with confidence. Minutes later, Crawford stood undisputed at 140. Then came welterweight. Jeff Horn, broken apart. Kell Brook, finished. Amir Khan, stopped. Each man entered with hope. Each left dismantled. And the crown jewel, July 2023, Las Vegas. Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. Analysts called it 50-50. But when the bell rang, it became 100-0. Crawford dropped Spence 3 times, broke him down, ended it in the 9th. That night, there was no debate. He wasn't just the best welterweight alive. He was the best fighter alive. 2 legacies built on different blueprints. One through scars and spectacle. The other through flawless execution. And so the question sharpens. When history remembers, what will matter more? The empire built on wars fought under the brightest lights, or the empire of inevitability, where no man could come close. And as their stories converge, one truth lingers. When the final bell tolls, not for a fight, but for their careers, what will endure? The empire of spectacle, or the empire of silence? Before you head out, don't miss the chance to unlock exclusive perks. Click the link in the description to become a channel member. You'll get early access to videos 48 hours before everyone else, the ability to suggest future topics, and so much more. Your support keeps these stories alive and growing. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, drop a comment, and subscribe so you never miss what's next. And while you're here, why not keep the journey going? Check out our deep dive into Canelo Álvarez's rise to superstardom. Or, if legacy is what you value most, our feature on Terence Crawford's road to perfection. Either way, you're in for a story you won't forget. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.